Welcome to the Ramadan tournament final. I am your host and cast for the night. That is the PTK Young Blood, but don't be fooled by the name. I am not the Yamba, I am the man himself, the man Young Blood. Finally, guys, it is here, the finals. Bro, we watched all the stages, they were hectic, man. Teams brawling out, and right now we have the best of them all. I'm not gonna say much. Let's just head straight into the game and the first game of the evening. The map that we are all fond of. The best of the best. And this is Erangel. And just like that, we are all in the ground, ready to set sail. I get to see who will be able to dominate today. This is the day number 1, tomorrow the day number 2. We have to see teams getting their best fit on. Get your good socks and get those wins in place, because day number 1 is the best when it comes to teams asserting their dominance. And if a team can be able to assert their dominance very, very early in the game, that is it for them. As we saw in the PMAC, we had teams taking the early lead, and by the day number 2, the gap was so big that no one could be able to match that out. And quite a very, very good playing path coming from the west to the east, cutting across half of Erangel, zone shrinking towards the Stalba area. And this is quite a bummer to most of the teams that chose to land places like Milta. We have the military base, but at the moment, you just have to get your loot in. You have to have a good time. And the game is just beginning, so the pressure is just mounting. Not a lot of things happening at the moment. We have the teams, those Kenya, one of the best teams from their region, 23 legions also in play. Just expecting to see them try to clutch it out. And this is just the beginning of the finals of the Ramadan Cup. And if you're watching at home, don't forget to give the stream a like and subscribe, follow. This is the PUBG Mobile Somalia Ramadan Cup. And just like that, yeah, we are all setting the sails, and fights are already breaking loose, trying to see who will be able to. Breaking loose as teams are struggling to get those good loot. And this might be a very, very big hurdle for them as they're trying to survive, get eliminated fast, and you lose a lot of key points. Guys, we are back, and this is the Ramadan Cup. Be ready for the action, because it's just begun. Ramadan Cup, we have all the teams ready for the action as blood is brewing. Ramadan Cup, day number 1. This is the game number 1. 4 maps are going to be played today, and the teams are all ready. BMLs, Be My Loot, not having very, very good loot, but they have to be careful. The place is infested. If they don't do their best, that is just it for them. but trying to get those good spots. We have Milta fights breaking loose. Horus Virus bringing the virus. A Whiskey goes for that push. One of the guys is down. The only player surviving from his end. And the virus getting infested. They have to do a lot to be able to survive. Only one man. And if they lose this fight, they might be able to lose a lot of points. Horus Virus, a very good nade cooking. And the ball is out. Might be able to finish that elimination. And that might be a very perfect nade. Gets the damage, but unfortunately not able to get the other player. And he is getting pushed. A 1v3 situation. And the man cooking another nade. This might be a knock. Klaus is very low. 23 Klaus from the 23 Legions. This might be a very good knock. And Whiskey. Just a whisk away from knocking the 23 Klaus, and the 23 Legion are suffering defeat. One of the guys is down. 1v3 situation for Whiskey. And the Horus Virus at the moment, the eliminations are not important. Just get the placement points for your team. And that is just it. Team Unique, a PMAC team. If you watch PMAC, you just understand the kind of level that the Team Unique from Mauritius is bringing to the table. Unique Madman, one of the key players in the PMAC, was able to bag more than 5 eliminations, getting double digits. At the moment, in the Ramadan Cup Grand Finals, 18 teams at the moment, 23 Legions currently fast with the 3 eliminations. We have Pain, a crazy X77 tactical team, another very good team. Those either dead, those Kenya are very ready for the fight. But the 23 Legion already spotted the WRS. That is Whiskey, and they might be going for the push. Tony almost eliminated Amar. One of the key players from the 23 Legion might be making that push, and nades are being cooked, and the man might be a fault. Whiskey has to be careful. Whiskey, he has to clutch a 1v3. He knows he can. He's got the abilities. He's got the manpower. He's got it all, a 1v3, but unfortunately, these might be it. The 23 Legion, they don't care. They know they have the numbers, and that's why they're going for the push, and they go Tony down, and they are getting whisked out by Whiskey, and Whiskey, a one man getting quite some good elimination. The duo is down, and the last final player, and Whiskey does get to clutch a 1v3 situation. 23 Legion out of the first game, and this is quite a bummer for the 23 Legion, not believing what this Horus Virus has just infected them with. This is the virus. Horus Virus Whiskey with the 1v3, and the 23 Legion marched out of the lobby in a very fashionable way. They don't believe what just happened, but Whiskey was just horrendous. Horus Virus on top, and he does get the man. He does get that team back on the front line. I was talking about the placement points. This guy was going for the placement point, but I was wrong. The guy with the manpower, he got the 1v3 in, and he was able to take down one of the best teams in the finals, 23 Legion. And at the moment, they are out. They can't believe this. And they'll be holding their heads down in the lobby, trying to believe, trying to imagine what happened in the first game. Those are a lot of critical points that they lost. But a 1v3, that was crazy. Tactical team, another very good team. We have Stone, KO Thomas, trying to spot the enemies, trying to create that choke point as they cross through with the buggies. And one by one, bodies are getting laid to waste. 58 players remaining, and 16 teams in total. 2 teams already out, 23 Legions and the BMLs. Be my loot. Getting that loot back in the lobby. Legion also escorting themselves. Not something that they imagined that could happen. Ramadan Cup starting a very good and a hot way. Grand Finals game number 1. And they also have a 5 tactical team. They do get a knock. And judging by how the tactical team play, these guys might be making those pushes like very early in the game, because I know the tactical team, Stone has been one guy that has been doing that. They have to rely on their fragger. At the moment, 2 eliminations already, and are still going for that push early in the game. But they need to do that because get those eliminations right early in the game and then secure those placement points, and you are at a good place to clinch that number one. And everything that want all teams, they just want that number one. The number one is the most important thing at the moment, and if they can be able to secure it right now, that will be it for the team. And just getting those eliminations, tactical teams torn with the 2 eliminations and only 1 player remaining, and they know he's there, trying to smell him out like a dog. Trying to identify his location so that they can secure those 4 eliminations rightly, and they do get the man. They go for the push. These are 1v4 situation, tactical team. They do get that elimination on the DZ. Spelling A to Z. Back to the lobby. GG's for the tactical team, already with the 4 eliminations, 3 of them coming from the tactical stone. And already the game has begun, Ramadan Cup. And already we have players getting almost 5 eliminations. Stone with the 3. And the man himself, the GOAT, Whiskey, the 23 Legion with the 3 eliminations. So 2 players with 3 eliminations each. And the MVP title is on the line for these players. Yeah, everyone must rush in as the zone will be closing in just a few seconds. For Shakida, for the fallen ruthless, they have to be careful, otherwise they will be falling ruthlessly down. But them, very composed Shakid, a player that represented Africa in the PMGC this year. That is last year, bro. How is time moving that fast? You know, time is moving so fast. We are getting old without even getting old. PMGC was last year, bro. I'm seeing as if we are still in last year, in 2025. But we are in 2026. Ramadan Cup, Grand Finals, match number 1. Don't forget, if you're watching the stream, like and subscribe. Follow PUBG Mobile Somalia. At the moment, 15 teams remaining. The man himself, Whiskey from the Horus virus. The only thing he just needs is just get the placement points. But already we have teams trying to get him. I'm not sure if they know he's here. I think they might just be looting. And Whiskey, try not to move a muscle. Just hold his position. Pain Africa is also here. Mafioso. VCs trying to hold Yasnaya Poliana. For the people that play classics a lot, this is a very, very famous place to get eliminated. We're trying to get the recalls. And our Vision Codes, VC Broski, each of them just holding and trying to wait for the players on to shift so that they can get their winning chance to make the push. And if you're watching, when it comes to tournaments like this, you have to understand some key things. If it's the finals, don't go for the push early unless you guys have the advantage. If you don't have the advantage, I don't see any use of your team going for the push. So most of the times you have to play it tactical. For you to be able to inflict the pain to the teams, play it tactical, get to the safe spots fast, and then in the final zone, you can be able to do what you intended to do. Another fight happening, Delos. There's a TNZ making that push, and they do get quite some eliminations. X77 representing already with the 5 eliminations, currently top in terms of the eliminations ranking. And these might be a very, very good push for the X77 esports, as one of the players is already down. Go for the push, and they might be getting these eliminations. X77 go for the push. I try to get that vast. Looking at their casualties right bluntly in the face as they take them down and back to the lobby. I guess that elimination, X77 have to be careful. Unique Esports is there. Unique Esports get that good elimination, and they are trying to pick them out. X77, Unique Esports, and Unique have that advantage. They are going for the push by Unique Esports. One of the players is down. Now 2 of the players are down. Unique Esports crashing, but these might be a crash shot for the X77. Macy doing some good things. Oh my goodness me. Goes for the push, and they do get the Unique Esports. Unique in a away. Unique back to the lobby. They don't believe what just happened, but the X77 dominating, getting those eliminations. With 8 eliminations already. They still have the numbers. One of the guys has been eliminated. Unique tried to make that party, but unfortunately, they were partied on by the X77, who added those eliminations to their name and fighting against a duo. These might be it. A very, very good nade. These might prove to be very, very detrimental for them. Cooking up, trying to get Mustafa. Mustafa has to be careful. And Mustafa is down. X77 dominating the lobby. And these might be 10 eliminations for the X77. Fighting against a duo. Got 1 elimination. Only one guy is remaining with the DBS. They have to be careful. The D. Minatorio, unfortunately, Pain Africa with the third party. And they do get that elimination in. Pain Africa, third parties utilized to the fullest era with the 1 elimination. And they might be going for the push. Trying to create that choke point. Trying to get at the X77, and this might be it for the X77. Pain Africa trying to inflict the pain. Pain Africa trying to close the gap. A tactical team on the other end. Dead those still fighting. 1 elimination already, but they have lost 2 key players. Dead those. They have to be careful not to waste their own goals, but quite some good spray and the recoil control coming from the dead those Glixi, and he does get 1 elimination, trying to take the other elimination with the SLK with the 1-1, and this is the dead those, but unfortunately Glixi not able to do some good things, getting pushed and getting eliminated. And dead those, only one of their guys are remaining, only 1 player going for that revive. They didn't get that elimination. Almost got the 2 eliminations. And that is just it. The zone is closing. And this is where things become intense. They have to be careful not to lose the points. They have to be careful. They have to get the plays on very, very fast. And that is almost an intentional knock. Exiting the vehicle. That is very, very bad. Nades already getting thrown. Dead those. I think that is their final player. Brutal Psychos on the other end, getting psychoed and getting eliminated very, very fast. And knocks are coming. Suzy Esports are going for the push. Hulk, the only player remaining from the dead those Kenya, trying to get the placement points for the team, but unfortunately still in the blue zone, which is one of the biggest enemies in the game. You can't be fighting against players and still fight against the blue zone. So teams have to go seek those save zones fast. But the first game, quite a bummer to some of the teams. 23 Legion was one of the teams. And Yasna Poliana getting crowded at the moment. 3 teams already here. We have the Ruthless Esports fighting against the Pain Africa. Pain Africa, 2 of the players are down. Swash is going for the push. Boney, one of the few players remaining from the Pain Africa. And Pain Africa getting the pain inflicted in them. And the Ruthless take down the Pain Africa. And Pain Africa feeling the pain. The lobby becoming very, very intense. And just few players remaining. 32 players in total. 11 teams to be specific. And just a few minutes for the game. A crazy esports man, already 4 eliminations for the team. X77 currently leading with 9 eliminations. Tactical team with the 5 eliminations. We have For Real Ruthless with the 4 eliminations. Crazy with the 4. And it's the final moment of reckoning. Arman tries to get the play zone. I don't think the monster truck is one of the best things when it comes to these kinds of play zones. Like the last play zones, I believe the monster truck is one of the weakest vehicles ever, because just a few shots to the vehicle and it is like rendered useless. Just one mag and the vehicle does not move normally. So most of the times, I think teams should always go and seek the best weapons, the best vehicles, the UAZs and stuff. BPX eliminated very, very early in the game. And 10 teams at the moment. TDS, one of the guys is down, finish, going for that revive. And this is it. Final moments of the game. 10 teams remaining. If a team is eliminated right now, that is still 0 placement points. You have to get top 8 for you to be able to earn at least 1 point for your team. Tactical team still winning. CB9 esports are trying to get the best spots, trying to get those elimination points. Teams are just getting cluttered. Crazy esports, only one of the guys is surviving. He has to get that revive. Unfortunately, the zone might be moving very, very early. Just 1 minute remaining, and this play zone will be shrinking very, very fast. Haryani getting that grenade elimination. Unity of Nepal still unified in the game. One of their players is down, and that is the man that got the 2 eliminations. RT Zaid reads the esports. Losing another player. Only 2 of the players are remaining. Smoke, Tracer, the only 2 players remaining, and they might be getting a fight of a lifetime. Smoke getting smoked and getting battered by the Molly. He has to be careful. TT losing another player. Smoke. These might be a night for him. A very, very good nade, and these might be it. Look at the nade. Unfortunately, smoked out, but the very, very perfect grenade. Tracer trying to trace out, trying to prevent Smoke from being eliminated, but unfortunately not able to save Smoke. Smoke seen some smoke, and Tracer has to chase those eliminations. He has to get them for his team. You know, this fighting against quite some good players. A one-man army. Goodness knows what is happening in his head. They're trying to get that revive. TT's RTZ. Tracer. Only one guy remaining. Goes for that push. He does get that elimination. Gets to steal the elimination from the X77. RTZ Tracer. 4 times Glacier M4. One of the weapons that PUBG has not given a lot. And it's quite funny. The players that are joining right now, they get those M4s. But then there is a couple of guys like 8 years in the game, and they still have the Camo M4. But anyway, that was just it. Let's continue with the game. X77 esports, they have 11 elimination. Mace with the 5 eliminations. And TXZ adding another elimination. Macy trying to bring the GOAT status. And 6 eliminations for the man of the hour. Macy from the X77. 20 players remaining. Unity of Nepal. Still trying to get those eliminations. In the safest zone, Death those eliminated. They fought a good fight, and then they did get one. They did get 1 placement points, which is not bad. Yeah, 1 is better than 0. TDS Zensu trying his best to smoke up, get that vehicle, and get to the play zone. And only 7 teams remaining. Yeah, who will get that chicken dinner? Unified Unity of Nepal. We have the TDS, a CB9 for Ruthless X77. The final moment in Yasnaya Poliana, one of the best zones for a final fight because of the buildings that makes you want to expect to see those shotguns getting loaded up on. When it comes to these kind of games, I don't believe the SMGs are efficient. Just have a very, very good shotgun and a very, very good aim, and you can be able to pick up a lot of kills, a lot of eliminations for your team. I see B9 Esports, Arman still able to clinch through with the vehicle and survive in that potential. Not crazy, Arman eliminated by the Unity of Nepal, and Arman is down, and these might be it. Tries to get that nade, and he does get that elimination. And teams getting battered and bruised. Final moment of the game. Unity of Nepal are still surviving. They did get a knock, but unfortunately the knock was taken. Fallen Ruthless, a Swash with the 2 eliminations. They have 6 eliminations total, and they have a full team, which is the cream de la cream when it comes to the final zone. You know, it's all about numbers. You want the points, you want the placement points, you want the chicken dinner. Get the numbers fast, and you can be able and to make it easy for your team to be able to get those chicken dinner points, because 10 points, that is quite incredible. And for the Ruthless team taking those central houses, safe zone, and trying to create a fortress out of it. X77, they don't have the zone. They are trying to smoke their way into the play zone, fighting against the Vision Codex. Broski with a very, very good nade, and these might prove to be a lot of troubles for Messi. Messi just surviving by a whisker. Vision Codex, they have the vision, but can they be able to get that execution? One elimination. A nade has been thrown, and the ball is out, and these might have been a very good knock, but unfortunately he didn't go for the nade. If he would have gone for the nade, that would have been a potential knock. And fearless, not fearing anyone. We have Broski with a 0. And everyone just making those eliminations count. Every move, every count. They have to make sure that everything is in place. Tactical. In place, Messi eliminated. And the X77 esports, only one of the guys is remaining. That is Groza. Unfortunately, Groza taken out by Shakid. And Shakid picking out the X77. Right now with 3 eliminations. A domination for the Ruthless Shakid. A Vision Codex getting battered, and these might be a potential knock. And flawless Vision Codex, only one of the guys is remaining, and Vision Codex getting eliminated by the CB9, who have the best zone, who have the best spots, and all the nades are being battered towards the Vision Codex. The final player remaining, the VC. Will he be able to survive the barrage of nades? One elimination. The guy in a very, very good and safe spot. Ruthless, fallen, ruthless are still with the numbers. Unity of Nepal. We have the CB9, and finally, we have the Codex having gotten eliminated by Rashiano. Rushing them back to the lobby, and it's down to a 3-team battle. That is the fallen, ruthless CB9 and the Unity of Nepal. Ruthless with 3 players, Unity of Nepal with 3 players, and the CB9 with only 2 players. And the odds are stacked against the CB9. And who will get the chicken dinner? Echoes is down from the fallen ruthless, and his numbers game. CB9 moving in closely. Unity of Nepal getting those easy eliminations, picking out the fallen ruthless, picking out the CB9, and the CB9 have been eliminated, and it's down to a 3v2 battle. Shakid has to be careful. Unity of Nepal, Shakid with the 3 eliminations, trying to cook up the nade, and the final player from the fallen ruthless remaining. Shakid has to be careful, and Shakid not careful enough. Unity of Nepal unified in the glory, unified in the squad. They had the numbers, they had those points, and they did pick out the CB9. They did pick out the fallen ruthless, falling down in a ruthless fashion. On the Unity of Nepal, a chicken dinner for the first game of the Ramadan Cup. And these are the finals. And they did clean the win. And a GG to the Unity of Nepal. And that's how you do it. That's how you do it. They came with the sting, they came with the power, and they did get that chicken dinner. Unity of Nepal with the first of the day. Now 3 maps remaining. Will they be able to continue their zest? Will they be able to show us that they were not relying on luck, just pure skill? But a GG is coming from the Unity of Nepal. No way, fallen ruthless. They were not in the play zone. They didn't have the numbers. And that is why they were easily picked up by the Unity of Nepal. And quite some GGs, quite some good game from the Unity of Nepal, with Hunt being their key player. He got like 115 damage. They had 7 eliminations total. Their best player was Ahmad, who simply got like 3 eliminations. We have 6969 with the 2 eliminations. Aubuhui with the 2 eliminations. And Hunt, he got the 0 eliminations. He got a couple of throwables. But that was an awesome and sweet chicken dinner coming from the Unity of Nepal. And looking at the Ruthless esports, because the fallen Ruthless, they were at most one of the best teams, because they got the number 2. Unity of Nepal, head-to-head, they had the 7 eliminations. But in terms of eliminations, Ruthless, they had the most eliminations, 10. They had the most damage of 14,000. Total heals, bro, they outdid the Unity of Nepal. Just not getting that chicken dinner is like illegal for the fallen ruthless. But you know what? In each and every game, we have a winner, and the Unity of Nepal did get that win. And for the match MVP of the evening, from the X77 Esports TXZ with the 1v. Oh, that was not the guy with the 1v3, but he was one of the few players remaining. He got the 5 eliminations, 4 total knocks. And that was a very, very good game for them. TXZ X77 with the 5 eliminations, and these are the top players of the game. Messi with the 6 eliminations. So Messi had the most eliminations, although when it comes to the MVP, you have to do a lot. Whiskey with the 1v3 versus the 23 Legion, and he got those 4 eliminations. At the moment, the table already shifting. But those are not a lot of points, but they are very, very critical points. This is just by the first game. Unity of Nepal taking the number one already with the 17 points, fallen ruthless, not falling far behind with the 16 elimination, with the 16 points. X77 Esports with the 15. We have the CB9 Esports with the 11. Crazy Esports, 9 eliminations, 9 points. Sorry. We have the Vision Codex with the 6. Tactical team taking number 7. And looking at the teams that are bottom of the table, that is Be My Loot, Brutal Cycles, and the Dark Zone Esports. In the second game, I think they're gonna come with a very, very good mentality, because it's gonna be hard for them if the mentality is not set right. And the first game of the evening, Erangel goes to the Unity of Nepal. Got 17 elimination, 17 points for that game. That is the chicken dinner with the 10 and 7 eliminations for them. Second game will be Rondo, Miramar, and then finally Erangel. So 1 out of 4. Second game will be Rondo. So I hope you guys are ready, because Rondo is gonna be hot, because when it comes to Rondo, we have recalls and we have everything. But we're gonna be taking a very, very short break, and we shall come back in just a few seconds. So don't click the dial. And we are back for the game number 2 of the evening, and that is Rondo. And the best thing about Rondo is the recalls. And as I talked about it, the recalls are like they make the game even more intense because teams they have a second chance of getting back to the game. Because most of the time, you'll see like teams going for the push, tries to go to stadium. I've seen teams going to stadium most of the times try to fight it out, and after fighting it out they can be able to get like quite some good eliminations. Then one of the guys will be at the recall. So this is quite the strategy. So what I'm giving you right now, this is like a hack. Yeah, don't share to everyone. Yeah, this is just for you guys that are hearing these right now on the stream. So when it comes to Rondo, always use this kind of strategy. One of your guys will always, yeah, make sure that one of the guys goes to the recall, and then the other three can try to get those eliminations. If they're eliminated, the guy that went to the recalls can get that revive at the recall tower. And quite a very, very good plane path shifting towards the northern part of the map. That is a southern to northern part, that is Rondos. And the map, very, very linear. And teams have to get their way because the zone has already been established, moving towards the southern part of the map. And these might be quite a hurdle for the teams. Shots already been casted, and teams have to be careful because losing players this early in the game might prove to be the worst thing ever. And the 23 Legion, don't know what is happening to the 23, but they need to compose themselves. Getting dropped like that very, very easily. Tony does get that elimination, and taking the 23 Legion back on their feet. Unity of the Nepal having gotten the chicken dinner in the first Erangel game, come into the game number 2 with confidence. SMGs in hand. ZT Esports goes to the push. Unfortunately, the water almost eliminated. And Mustafa has to be careful as he's getting pushed. They do get that elimination. Rocking those 2 eliminations as they fight against the ZTs. Mustafa with the 1 elimination. They're trying their best to survive, having lost speed. And speed going back to the lobby in a rather fast fashion. ZT Minatorio has to be careful fighting against the BMLs. BMLs have been eliminated in the first game as fast people. You have to be careful not to make that mistake happen again. They do get that elimination, and the BML Knight tries to get into the building, but unfortunately, that was a clean knock. X77 Groza, the final player from the X77 that was remaining in the previous Erangel game, on his toes with the 2 eliminations already. There's DZ Esports with only one of the players remaining. Brutal Cycles, Edox. They have 3 eliminations. Try to get that revive. Brutal Cycles. I didn't see much of them in the previous game. Hoping to see much coming from the Brutal Cycles in this game. Ramadan Cup hitting up in the day number 1. Legion 23 Tony. They already have the 4 eliminations and a full squad. They're going for the push. Tony very, very confident. He knows he has the numbers. He has the help Right now, the only thing that he needs is those eliminations counting. 23 Legion, unfortunately, losing one key player. One is down. BPX go for the push with the AKM. But with no heals, I don't think he'll be making that revive or making that push. We have the Death Those Kenya fighting against the CB9. CB9, they were that in the previous game. Death Those having got to the number 8 position, trying to assert their dominance. Death Those Kenya from Kenya. CB9, they have to be careful but maintaining their cool. CB9, one of the players down on the Death Those Kenya. All of them making the push. And this is a full rush, full lobby, but the CB9 losing players one by one. They go for the push, but the Death Those are very, very good. Bringing the dose and making them suffer. CB9 eliminated very, very fast by the Death Those Kenya. And the Death Those, they have 3 eliminations already. And the numbers are cooking. RTZ Tracer, Aim Good, Saif, RTZ Smokey. There is Smoke, Groza. And the main fights have been at the track, because here is where we have most of the teams. And if these teams can be able to get like those eliminations early and then try to secure that placement points, that would be a very, very good game for them. And look at how the 23 Tony is picking up at the Death Those Kenya. Death Those getting picked up at the 23 Tony, and 5 eliminations for Tony. Glixi eliminated. On the other end, we have the VCs in a very, very heated fight. Brutal Psychos with the 3 eliminations. All of them is just a push by push, trying to get as many eliminations as they can before the recalls are closed. But the BPX with 3 players already. Vision Codex. They have to do their homework right, and they do get that elimination. TDS finished indeed, but the VCs trying to get that revive. VC Broski, they almost lost the 3 players. TDS, they do get that revive, and that is it. That was the tactic that I was talking about. 23 Legion on the other end, they are receiving quite a whooping from the BPX. With 2 of the players down, try to get the revive. 23 Amar, one of the key fraggers in the 23 Legion. They have 7 eliminations already. 23 Legion coming well composed in the first game. They were eliminated at 1v3. A shame of play. But these guys, they came for revenge. They came for the points, and they came for the crown. The game number 2. Rondo still heating up. Whiskey eliminated very, very early in the game. And still at 18 teams remaining, 69 players total. So quite crazy. We've gotten a lot of guys fighting, but at the moment, no one has been eliminated because all the players have been revived. So in terms, like in easy terms, but the BPX, they have to be careful. RTZ, they do get the eliminations, but Aim got eliminated by the 23 Legion. The 23 Legion, they need to make the push right now. They have the advantage. They have the numbers. And the RTZ, they don't have the numbers. Rondo moving very, very quickly towards the southern part of the map. And the zone will be one of the biggest enemies for the teams. Zone going and moving towards the Ring Jiang, closing in. And they gotta be careful. Long Garden not in the play zone at the moment. And the teams that are already there will be getting one heck of a game. The RTZ Smoke did get the elimination. They have to be careful because look at how the guy is picking them out. 23 Tony knocked by the RTZ Smoke, utilizing those key points. But the 23, they still have the fight. Klaus are looking to make a close, but what a very, very good nade. RTZ Smoke, smoking the 23 Legion. Another 1v3. Another 1v3. 23 Legion still maintaining that 1v3 deficit. The first one going against Wits. The second one from the RTZ player. Smoking the 23 Legion. Quite a very, very good sight to see for the fans that are watching at home, and quite a very, very sad scene to see but the 23 Legion getting battered, bruised, bemused. I actually don't believe what is happening. They're down on their knees rethinking of their career choices at the moment. And it's quite hard looking at that happen the second game in a row. 23 Legion. They have to do something about this 1v3. But the RTZ Smoke, that was an awesome 1v3 coming from him. They are 23 Legion, man. I was looking at Amar, and it looked like his soul was broken. Looks like the face of someone had flushed his goldfish down the toilet. Yeah, Horus Virus Levi. They're still trying to play it in the blue, but I don't know if this is a very, very good strategy. All the teams will be in the play zone, trying to get as many loot as they can. Rondo has some very, very unique features with the EMP zone, followed by the wonderful bags that can be able to take the damage from the blue. CZ Arman is down, Vision Codex. All of them are moving one by one as they try to pace. As they try to get those eliminations early, and this might be a very, very good knock. VC surviving the CZ Esports. Yeah, team still pushing. Team still moving. The Somalia Ramadan Cup, the game number 2, Rondo. And things not looking normal. Game number 3 and number 4 will also be very, very hot. And I believe those might be the hottest because of the team performance, the game number 1 and the game number 2. Yeah, teams will be looking for the redemption. Teams will be looking for a chance to reign supreme. And the zone will be shifting in just a few seconds. DZ Vampire getting eaten out alive by the VCs. Codex team very, very hot in terms of how they play. Dark Zone. CB9 Esports got the number 3, but they might be looking for that number 1 in this game. DZ eliminated. And that is it. With 0 eliminations and having gotten eliminated as team number 18, that is literally 0 points. Horus Virus, 62 players remaining with the smallest zones ever. Teams are trying to set up their mentality, trying to set up their game, trying to set up their plays, tactical in all aspects. Unity of Nepal still fast with the 17 points. And the table might be shit. Because looking at this game, we have the 23 Legion. They have been very, very extravagant. They have been very, very good. Although they were eliminated, they got quite some eliminations with more than 8 eliminations to their name. And the only team that is coming close to them is Ritzy with 6 eliminations. And Mufasa has to be careful. We've seen the Lion King. And Mufasa does get eliminated by Scarface. And if he's eliminated right now, these will not be new. And that is it. Mufasa is down. And the Lion King has to take up from Mufasa's role as king. Shakid with the 2 eliminations. Vision Codex. It's been a knock after knock. BPX Edox getting knocked by the play zone. And it's quite painful looking at players getting knocked by the play zone. Because that is like giving up. CB9 having been fighting, and it's a dead dose. CZX, CZY crazy. The game is becoming very, very heated. Sako closing in just a few 17 teams, and that just tells you the magnitude of the game. 17 teams. Look at the play zone. Look at how the zone will be shifting, and these might be a very, very, very not linear. Oh, this is quite a very, very good circle, but most of it or half of it is in the water. 23 Legion. In a very, very heated fight, and one of the players is down. Unicanos does get high elimination, and the Unique Esports making the push. They do get that elimination. 23 Legion fight against the team Unique. And unique in their gameplay, unique in their zest, unique in their motivation. As this with the one. Arnos going for the push. Klaus have to be careful. 23 Legion. These might be their end. But who said they still have some fight in them? They still have the motivation to be at the top. Arnos downed, but the RTZ Smoke and Smoke still adding up the numbers, and these might be yet another elimination for the Smoke. A Unique Esports did get another elimination, but that is 8-23. Amar does get the final elimination for the 23 Legion, solidifying the 23 Legion lead in terms of eliminations. And currently with 10 eliminations, Unique Esports eliminated. Teams getting battered, teams getting eliminated very, very early. VC on the other end, Yang B downed crazy. Esports, Yang B, the one elimination, does go for the push, and he got the numbers, he's got the shots in. Ice cuts down, crazy. Esports, and he has to play it cooler. VCs, they are not joking around, tries to get that revive, and he does get the revive. Ice cut, he was very, very low. And a move from Young B, that might be it. He tried to get that revive, but unfortunately that was a very perfect need, and he took the numbers down to 1. And quite a shift. Vision Codex, they are the numbers. They're trying to get that rotation. Fallen, Ruthless also in the place. Rashiano also rushing to get those eliminations. Rashiano from the Fallen, Ruthless. But a very, very good spot, but quite some good knock. And Zaba is down, getting knocked. Unity of Nepal holding that breach area, trying to molly, trying to throw those barrage of nades. They know that they can be able to get those eliminations, and they have the numbers. What do they need? No, they don't have the numbers at the moment, because 2 of the players are already down, and he's the final player. One guy is knocked. He has to go to drone, tries to take out the player from the vehicle, tries his best. Fortunately, not fortunate enough to get that elimination. Shakid with the 2 eliminations tries to go against as the Z team. Mufasa eliminated. He goes with the elimination. CB8, CB9, they are making those eliminations. Count with 3 eliminations. Fallen, Ruthless trying to get that number 1. They fall. They fell a bit shy in the first game, but at the moment, Horus Virus, Levi leading the squad back to the lobby. And this is a 14-team battle, 38 players in total. Equals with the 1 elimination. Fallen, Ruthless, 4 eliminations total. BPX eliminated quite early in the game. They had the trio, but the trio at the moment not very efficient. CB9 Esports with the 4-man army, 6 eliminations total. Tony down by Shakid. Fallen, Ruthless getting those eliminations, causing quite a trouble for the 23 Legion. They tried to get those revives. Amar trying to distract the Fallen, Ruthless, on which he successfully does. Rashiano trying to spot Amar, but Amar, what a very, very good spot. Tactical team, stone down. And the numbers are changing. Everything is shifting. The zone is shifting. The game is shifting. The mentality is shifting. Second game, Rondo. And already we have a team with 11 eliminations, a 1v1, and BMS, they'll make it to the top 8 again. BMS unfortunately eliminated. Rashiano with a domination of 3 eliminations. Minatorio goes for the push. S12K battle. Tries to get the crazy esports. Crazy esports acting a little bit crazy. Waiting with the S12K. Trying to spam the S12K. Minatorio goes for the push. Crazy Young B eliminated. And oh my goodness me. Crazy eliminated. And they do get that elimination. ZT with the 4 eliminations, but that was a third party. They threw that molly and they managed to get that elimination. And the ZT Minario are knocked by the TT Stone TT from the tactical team. CB9 fighting against the 23 Legion. They have the numbers and they can take down the tactical. No, that is the 23 Legion. But the 23 Legion, they have the Z and they do get the knock. CB9 Esports, they tried to make that knock, but unfortunately, that was a good game for the 23 Legion. Panicking, Amar with a very, very good spot, but Amar has been spotted. Amar has to get the elimination, otherwise the 23 Legion are out. CB9 1v1, and Amar does clinch that 1v1 for the team. And the 23 Legion, 15 eliminations total, and that is it for the 3 members of the 23 Legion. But 1 man remaining, and the man is Amar. TDS Zensu from the Dragons of the South. One of the guys is down. Pain Africa with only 2 players remaining. Era, and we have the Venom. They have to make the revive, but no chance to make the revive. They are getting pulled by the RTZ. RTZ very motivated. They have the elimination. They have the manpower. They have the loot. They have the nades, and they have everything. They only need Venom, and Venom has to strike like a snake. He has to whisk. He has to wither. He has to move slowly, slowly. Panic eliminated by Zaba. And it's all down to the 3v3 right now for the RTZ versus the Pain Africa in these compound. Teams are getting laid to waste. RTZ getting banned. He's trying to heal up. Almost smoked up. RTZ Pain Era trying to go for the push. Saif very, very low, trying to heal. Oh, but this might cause a lot of trouble. 23 Amar getting Rashiano. Pain Bonnie getting the RTZ Saif, and they have the numbers, they have the advantage, they're going for the push. Aim God has to aim like a god. Aim God, unfortunately, he does not have the numbers. They are clipping in, they are going for him, but Aim God dominated. Aim God did get the elimination, but unfortunately getting eliminated by the play zone. RTZ, they won the fight versus the Pain Africa. Quite a very, very fast fight, but they win it. They win it. Pain Africa, unfortunately, that was the end for the Ruthless team, still surviving with only 2 of their players, but they have been eliminated. 23 Legion Amar, the only player remaining. Ritzy with 1 player, and TDS with the numbers, a 3-man army down to a 3v1v1. Will they be able to win this game? TDS, they have the numbers. Just go for the push. Just wait for the play zone. A 3v1v1. TDS Yanis, unfortunately, almost eliminated by Amar. And Amar, a 1-man army, trying to smoke up a trio. He needs to smoke up the area, but unfortunately no smoke. Yan is almost eliminated by Amar, and the vehicle does explode, and he does get cover, which was what he was intending to get. That's the best thing about Rondo. You know, Rondo, you have the destructible terrain, so you can always create cover even while in the open. Amar in the open tries to move very, very slowly, and Amar did get the knock. Yan is down by Amar, a 1-man army, and Amar in the open. Amar very confident. Zetsu has to be careful. Amar very, very confident, but unfortunately the TDS Dragons of the South, they see the light, they see the north, and they see the chicken dinner of the game number 2, Rondo. They came for the win. They saw and they conquered. They were prepared for the game. They were prepared with the numbers. They were prepared for the win, and they just struck harder, and the tempers are rising. And the tempers are being set by the Dragons of the South. With their wings held up high, they do get that chicken dinner. Amar was impressive. But the Dragons of the South, they were terrific with 9 eliminations to their name. With most of the eliminations coming from Zensu, with the 5 eliminations finish, getting the 2, and Kasim with the 2. Yan is providing the support. Not fortunate enough to get the elimination, but they got the chicken dinner. It's always a teamwork when it comes to getting that chicken dinner. 23 Legion head-to-head with the RTZ. These have been the 2 best performing teams. And the 23 Legion with 16 total eliminations. RTZ, that is the Ritzy, with 15 eliminations. But the 23 Legion, they dominate in terms of eliminations. They dominate in terms of total damage. They dominate in terms of the total knocks. And they were terrific. They were insane. They were awesome. Rizzi, they tried, but unfortunately, the 23 Legion, they were the better team when it comes to the head-to-head battle. That was a good game. At some point, I thought the 23 Legion were actually taking the chicken dinner. Amar was very, very aggressive. And he is the man of the hour, the MVP of the game. Number two, with the total elimination 7, total damage, quite insane. 1200 damage. But that was insane coming from one guy. 6 total knocks, 23 Amar dominating in Rondo. And that might be his best match. He went for the early eliminations, got a couple of eliminations, 5. He didn't get Yanis, but these eliminations could have been 8, 9, 10 if he was able to pull up a 1v3 versus the team from the TDS. 23 Amar with the most eliminations has been the top player for the game number 2 with the 7 elimination. 23 Tony also with 7 eliminations. Oh, that is so they got 14 for the 23 Legion. Yeah, Artist with the 6. We have LR8 with the 6, and finally we have Zensu from the Chicken Dinner team getting the 5 eliminations. And that was quite nice. Dragons of the South, they were not slayed. They just slayed the whole lobby. And 23 Legion becoming the team number 1 with 22 points in that game. But Ritzy coming very, very closely with 20, and the Dragons of the South not left far much behind, 19 eliminations. And this makes the table even better. Because look at this 23 Legion. They didn't have, I think they only have 3 points in the first game. Right now they have 22. Ritzy, they have 20. Dragons of the South, Fallen Ruthless. They made it to the top 4. That was a GG's. But for the Dark Zone Esports, Crazy Esports, Team Unique is not looking good. Is not looking good. That game has been very, very bad for them. But the mentality might be changing. And for the overall top players, 23 Amar taking that top spot with the 9 elimination. Tony with the 8 eliminations. And I think Amar really deserves those eliminations because I've seen Amar getting 10 eliminations, 10 digits. And almost adding the digits right now. Tony with the 8. We have the Al8 with the 6 elimination from Ritzy. Gariani with the 6 elimination. And finally, Artist Baby with the 6 eliminations. So that is quite some good overall. Because looking at that, they are players from different teams, which makes everything very, very nice. And the tides have changed. Fallen Ruthless taking the first place because they were able to get the number 2 and the number 4 in the second game. And that puts them at a very, very, very better spot with 29 total points. 23 Legion taking the 25 with only one game that they performed very, very awesomely. The Dragons of the South elevated to the team number 3, Ritzy, and number 4, Unity of Nepal. Unfortunately, no moving that much, but they fall short. They are at number 5. And looking at the teams that have not been able to make it to the top 3, but they are at the bottom 3. Dark Zone Esports, Team Unique, and the Brutal Psychos. Pain Africa is also there, which is not quite a good scene. But this is just by the second game. We have the game number 3, game number 4. The first game, we had the Chicken Dinner going to the Unity of Nepal. The second game, we had the Dragons of the South slayed the lobby with the 19 points. Right now, we are going to the game number 3, which is Miramar. Quite awesome for the second game. But I just can't wait to see how that game is going to be turning out. Because if the first game was hot, the second game was hotter, that game is going to be insane. And guys, I just can't wait for this. So see you in just a few seconds. So don't change the dial. See you in a few. Welcome back, guys. We've seen the first game, the second game, and it has been insane. That game is going to be even more brain. Can I say brain rot? Because the teams are all coming for those eliminations. We have the 23 Legion with a very impressive comeback in the second game. We have the Ritzy, bro. These guys, one of their players that was smoking the 23 Legions 1v3. That was an awesome sight to see, man. That was awesome. But the 23 Legion, man, I don't know. They are so much attracted to the 1v3s. Hopefully, the third game will be a bit different. You know, they say that is a charm. So you're going to be looking closely at the 23 Legion to be able to see if they will make that mistake once more. And if you're watching right now, my name is the PTK Youngblood. Don't forget about that. Yeah, don't be fooled by the name. I am not the young, but I am the man himself, the man Youngblood. This is the Somali or the Somalia Ramadan Cup at the day number 1 for the finals. And quite a very, very good playing path in Miramar. Miramar boasting one of the best weapons in the game, the Win 98. I know most of you guys don't actually use the Win 98, but I would tell you for a fact, Win 98 is one of the best weapons. If you are able to connect a headshot, if you're not able to connect a headshot, that is the worst. That's the worst weapon. Looking at the plane path, moving from the eastern part to the western route of Miramar. Quite a very, very clean plane path, but we might be seeing a lot of fights happening in Pecado, San Martin area, El Pozo, also very much engulfed with teams. That is 2 teams total. But the first fight, here we come. The teams have to maintain their cool. We have 4 teams already in these small place. All of them trying to get the spoils for them, trying to get those eliminations, trying to cook. They have to be careful not to get cooked. And the plays might be shrinking. We might be seeing the fast zone so that we may be able to determine where the teams will be moving, how they'll be rotating. I bet the IGLs at the moment are very, very, very looking at the play map. Puerto Paraíso, and look at this, no team is in the play zone. So most of the guys will be going to the Los Leones area. And then we have a fight. The CB9 esports are very, very good when it comes to these 1v1 battle. But only one of their players is down, and the CB9 already eliminated quite early in the game. CB9 fallen ruthless with the 4 eliminations. Not falling short, just getting those eliminations working in their end. They do get those eliminations, and the CB9s, they actually don't believe what just transpired. They actually don't believe their faces. Not quite a good scene for them to be seen right this very minute, as teams are trying to get the best post. Rashiano still rushing to get those heals. A tactical team going for that push. RTZ Tracer, they're going for the fallen rulers. They know that the fallen rulers, they don't have the loot because they were in a very, very heated fight. They're just making the gambles. They're just gambling. Can they get the fallen rulers? If the fallen rulers are able to be, if they're eliminated right now, these is a GG's for the number 1 spot, but they're still holding the position. They lost Zaba. They gained 4. And the RTZ still pushing, trying to get the fallen ruthless. But the fallen ruthless are still maintaining their ground, waiting for the tactical team to make the push, so that at least the fight might break loose, so that they may be able to get a chance to make those heals happen. But the tactical team are just trying to make this building hell for all these squads. We have 3 squads in total. Rush, still holding the position. The TTs going for the push, and the aim god is down. Tracer getting traced by the tactical team. They're trying to get that revive. They have the advantage, and the tactical team might be pushing. They're going for the push. Tactical team tactically moving with the S12Ks, the AKMs, with the Uzi, but the tactical team getting knocked one by one, and two of the guys are down. Thomas is also down. Only one key player from the tactical team, and the tactical team not tactical anymore. Shakid down, eliminated. Ikuz, one of the few players remaining, and they only have two players. Ikuz does not have bullets. Arashiano also struggling to survive, trying to cook up that nade. He needs to throw the nade in, and he will be able to dominate. They do not have the numbers, but they have the advantage. The guys are very, very damaged. He just need to make that push. He just need to get the knock, but unfortunately, Rashiano down, and only one player remaining, and that is Ikoza. Ritzi might be going to the top. If they do get the fallen ruthless, this will be a very, very big win for the RTZ. They have the numbers. They have the chiller. They have everything. He tries to move. He's trying to move in, but unfortunately, just meeting hell out of the frying pan into the fire again. And the RTZ, 7 eliminations to their roster. And the tables are changing. The tides are moving. And the RTZ are moving with it. Dags on esports, they've not had like a very, very good first game, second game. Hopefully this game will be better for them. You have the DZ Vampire still with the 0 eliminations. Those, they're still surviving. Well, but I'm trying to think about the teams. We have the teams that have the 0. We have teams with 1. How are they going to make a comeback? How are they going to make a comeback? How will they do it? Because sometimes it messes up with your head, like how are you going to do, what tactic will you use? You saw the tactical team, the tactics not working, and the tactical team, they are almost at the top. So teams have to outdo themselves. It's not easy. Unity of Nepal, they got the chicken dinner, but just trying to move in safely is very, very dangerous. And they're making the push. And these might be a crash. Moving all in. A very, very good nade. But the Death Those Kenya Glixi downed and eliminated. Death Those with only 2 players remaining. Unity of Nepal getting the spoils all to themselves. With 1 elimination and 1 knock. Death Those, they have to do a lot to be able to survive in these. They need to make it to the top 3. They need to make that chicken dinner count. With only 2 players remaining, their tactics will be changing, and they have to change. Otherwise, it's not that easy. And when it comes to tournament, bro, you saw the final, you saw the semi-finals. It was not easy. So we were not expecting to see the finals having easy games. As they take a boss. They're still with the 0, all of them just trying to secure a spot in the play zone. And the games are so heated that I'm feeling the heat from where I am right now. And still 15 teams remaining. It's anyone's game. Who can be able to get that chicken dinner? Are we going to see a new team making a chicken dinner happen? A very, very good 1v1, but unfortunately 23 Legion losing 1 player. Klaus and a Chase down and out. 23 Tony with the assist, and he does get that elimination. Unique Esports madman right now, a madman because of the eliminations. 23 Tony rushed in, and he did get the Unique Esports. Unique at the moment falling very, very short. Almost last place with only 2 players remaining, and 1 is knocked. So Unique Esports getting pushed by the 23 Legion. They know that this guy might be here. Goes with the UMP. A 1v1 situation. Unique Zeus with the UMP trying to fight his all. Amar very, very confident, and Amar does get that elimination. Unique Zeus, unfortunately, Unique does not exist in the game number 3. And Ajiz is the 23 Legion with 4 eliminations total already. So Amar is on the verge of getting the most eliminations, trying to get the MVP, Get the MVP extra loot, get the MVP extra rewards. Most of the times, that is how the game goes. Dark Zone Esports And the play zone is shifting. Aim good, Ritzy, 7 eliminations total. They are currently on the lead when it comes to eliminations and when it comes to the table. But if the 23 Legion are able to get the chicken dinner in this game, that will be it. The number one will be to them. Or if the RTZ, they're able to get the chicken dinner, they're going for the number one. It's anyone's game. Anyone can do it. And that's why everyone is still motivated, you know. We still have the games for the day number 2. The game number 1 might have been very, very bad for some teams, but we've seen teams coming back even from an 80-point deficit. They just have to do their all. In each and every game, they have to win the chicken dinner. Coming well composed in terms of the connection, in terms of the teams. Having that synergy is very, very important. BMLs, another team that has not been able to even get to the top 8. First game eliminated very, very early. I think they were the second team or the first. I think they were the first team to be eliminated. Second game eliminated 13th. Now this is the third game. Will they be able to at least get a point? Because they need at least a point for the placements. They have 8 points. That is good, but they need the placement points. Vision Codex. Yeah, everyone is just trying to get the intel as the play zone is shifting. Everyone is just trying to get the good lands. I remember we had another tournament where the zone was shrinking and it shrinked down to the mountains. You know, it becomes very, very hard because if you are moving to the play zone and then the zone shrinks to a very high point, the teams that are normally at the highest points, they win the game. At times we see hill battles. At times teams, they die by the zone very, very fast because they cannot get to the hills very, very easily. The hills are unclimbable. If you're at a very, very bad angle, bro, you are dead. You are eliminated by the zone, which is your biggest enemy when it comes to Miramar. TDS finish. All of them just try to rotate to the very, very awesome guild circle closing in just a few seconds as the team wait for the new safe zone. BML with the full squad, 47 players total remaining, 13 teams in total. And it's anyone's game. The zone might be moving towards the Los Leones area. And part of Los Leones engulfed 23 Legion already in a very, very good spot. Puerto Paraíso. And the worst thing about this zone is half of the zone is in the water. So expect a lot of early fights happening right now. This is it. And this is the moment that we've all been waiting for. Get your popcorns ready. Because some heads will be popping. Some headshots are being awaited. BPX with one of the guys down. They have Viper. They have Edox. All of them just trying to move one by one. But look at the Viper getting creeped out by the Vision Codex. Vision is a very, very good visual perspective of the BPX Viper. And they take him down in a very painful manner. BPX Edox right now with only 2 players remaining. Vision, they know that the BPX might be lacking in the dark, trying to make that rotation. And BPX Airdocs aware that these might happen and trying to get those placement points for the team. 13 teams still remaining. Get eliminated right now, and that is 0 placement points for your team. In Africa, we have the Era of Venom. We have Mafioso and Boni. Looking to set at least some tempo, get those eliminations and get quite some points. If they don't get double digits right now, that will prove to be quite a big hurdle for the Pain Africa team. With only 4 eliminations and 1 elimination in this game, DZ Matrix tags on esports are getting battered and bruised by the BML. The BML is in a very, very good fight and a very, very good angle to take down the DZ. And it's all about to boil down. You know, it all is for the team that have the best loot, the team that have the best position, and always at a highland. And when it comes to these games, always ensure that one of your guys has at least a long range weapon. Otherwise, that will prove to be disastrous for your team. We have at times where we have long range fights, and these DMRs are very, very important. Talking about the Mini 14, we have the SKS. Those are some of the best long range weapons. The most flexible is the Mini 14. SKS is good, but I don't trust in the SKS so much. And the DZ, this might be a might, right? But he survives somehow. The final player remaining from his squad, and he's getting pushed by the Pain Africa. This might be an easy elimination for the Pain Africa. Cooking up an head, and this might be it. Going for the push with the S12K, tries to go down. But the Pain Africa is still getting pushed. Trying to push him, and they do take him out from angles. That is the 23 Legion. They do steal that elimination. Oh my goodness, 23 Legion are just ruthless. Right now with the 4 eliminations, 23 Legion are going for the push. Crazy Ice Cut did get the elimination and does get the 23 panicking and taken down to the lobby. Ice Cut trying to heal up. 23 Legion going for the push. They are going for the push. And with the P90 at hand, Crazy Esports Amar holding the position from the ground. Amar has to be careful, but the P90 in hand. BDBS for the P90. 23 Tony down. Going for the push. But quite some strikes, quite some good cover fire coming from the Crazy Aman. 23 Legion almost lost Tony, but Tony breathing a sign of relief because Arman was there. Amar getting that elimination, and Arman is down from the Crazy Esports, and the Crazy Esports receiving some crazy times, and only just a few players remaining from the end. BPX still survived with 2 players, Spain Africa with 2 players, dead. Those Kenya with 2 players. The BMLs are full squad. ZT with only 3 players. X77, 4 players to the roster. YC, UN, Nepal, TDS, Ritzi, all of them with 4 players to their roster. And 23 Legion, one of the few teams with only a trio to their name. And the lobby cooking, 36 players remaining, and 11 teams total. And as we get to enjoy the game, don't forget like the live stream and subscribe and follow PUBG Mobile Somalia, the Ramadan Cup 2026, and these are the grandest finals, and the game number 3, Ramadan Cup insane. TDS Yanis, one of the few players remaining in the previous game, having got knocked by the 23 Amar, are still surviving. They have the numbers. They are waiting for the zone to shift so that they can get that elimination. You know, when it comes to these kind of games, don't be hungry for the eliminations. You know, the day number 1, don't play it cool either. If you have the advantage, just make the push. But you have to ensure that you have the numbers when it comes to, let's say, like close to 40 people remaining. You have to have like a full squad. If your team gets eliminated at that time, you're cooked. And the 23 Legion, they still have the zone, and they're trying to hold the zone with quite some very, very good spots. Tony, Amar, and Klaus, the final players remain in Pan Africa in Puerto Paraíso. And quite some good spray. VC, Vision Codex versus the 23 Legion, who has the best spray. You know, at times you see, if you get sprayed like that, just change your position. Just change your position. Don't go like head-to-head fights. Most of the times, you might win the game, but you might win, you might get a knock, but if the space is too big, they might get the revive, and you will have lost your helmet or your armor. Bama, very, very confident with 4 eliminations, looking to be the MVP of the Ramadan Cup. Another good elimination. Ramadan Cup hitting up. Aim good. Yeah, Leaf is down. They have to go get that revive. And one by one, teams are pushing. Artists and Smoke trying to smoke the area. Are fighting against the TDS. And Needs getting battered, getting cluttered. And they are trying to make those eliminations on fighting against the TDS. And a very, very good strike, and the RTZ smoke is down. And one, bro, that was one dust. And Zetsu did get those eliminations. TDS Zetsu goes for the push, and he knows that the RTZ with only one guy, he can be able to take them all. The Dragons of the South, they got the chicken dinner in the previous game and looking to get yet another chicken dinner. They have the numbers. They just have to place those good nades very, very well and precisely at where Placer is. And Placer with a good nade. And he has to be careful. Zensu almost eliminated. They're trying to smoke the area as much as they can. Zensu wants to go for the push. The circle closing in very, very few seconds. And Zensu are keeping some distance between him and the RTZ player. TDS finish. Trying to do those nades. Tracer, final player remaining with 3 eliminations already, trying to smoke up and ultimately get some very, very good spots in the play zone. At the moment, fighting against time with 10 teams remaining. He needs his team to get the top 8, at least 1 point for his team, and he's trying to shift his lanes. And a very, very good nade, and that might also be it. Very, very low. If it was not for the vehicle, this would have been a bye-bye for the RTZ Tracer, and that is a GG's Tracer chase down on the TDS Kasim with a perfect, ingenious nade taking down the RTZ. And it's boiling up at the top, and teams are getting a show out of their hand. And Groza X77 do get that elimination after a very, very clean elimination from the window top. Unity of Nepal looking for a second, but the second is not coming. They're in Africa, looking to make it to the top 8. Unity of Nepal looking for a second chicken dinner. Dragons of the South also a second chicken dinner. X77 23 Legion looking for their first with 9 eliminations already for the 23 Legion. They might be the best team today, judging by their first game. Their second game has been better. Their third game is absolutely superb. And the zone is shifting. Might be moving towards the area, towards the ZT team, towards the shoreline. That's where we're going to be having the fight breaking loose. And the teams are trying to get to the safe spot as early as they can. And this is a race for who has where. TDS Zensu dead those Kenya. Glix is still surviving. William also still surviving. And trying to get those spots. Trying to get those eliminations. Dead those William Amar from the 23 Legion with the 5 eliminations, and Amar will be in double digits as the top player for the game number 1, for the day number 1, sorry. BML's able to survive to the top 10, and this is the first game that they have been able to do this. And Knight has to be careful not to see dust in broad daylight. Moving like a thief, but not in the nighttime. But he's the knight, not in a shining armor, but in a very, very dark and confused outfit. A knight with the 0 eliminations. BMLs, Be My Loot, moving in, trying to create the choke point. Trying to move in one by one, trying to get the X77. The X77, they got a chicken dinner, but these will be a very, very hard chicken dinner coming. They have 4 players already. BML CR9 tries to make that rotation. He has the spot. And they do get a good knock, and Mufaz is down, and they might be making it. They were trying to make the push, but unfortunately also receiving a casualty. Yeah, X77 tries to make that nade a perfect one, and that might be a very, very good and might cause a lot of trouble for the BMLs. Another good nade, and that VC team also getting battered by the ZTs. Delos X77 with numbers not on their side. One of their players is down. VC ZT Mustafa gets another elimination. Grows as X77 with the 1, but the TDS Yanis, they're still holding the position. They know It's always a numbers game in the last zone. If you have like 2 scores remaining and the 2 scores they have only 2 players each, get the 2 players each and you do get the 4 eliminations. So it's just a numbers game. It's just how you use your tactics. And they're using your tactics very, very good. And TDS and East, Klaus with the 4 eliminations, Tony with the 1. And they're trying to hold the zone. They're trying to get the safe points. The zone is shifting and it's shifting very, very hard. And these might be the final one. Fights are breaking. And if the zone shifts towards the central part, that's it for the teams. And if shifts towards the waters, it will become very, very hard for them to make at least a rotation. And the 23 Legion trying to get the key points of the safe zone. Tony still with the 1. Not atoning for those eliminations that he was able to get. BML's 23. Tony, they did get that elimination. Klaus with the 4, Tony with the 2, and they have 11 eliminations total. 23 Legion. They are superb. They are specific in where they are moving. They are not the tactical team, but they are moving tactically. Grand Finals Ramadan Cup. Game number 3, final game, will be up next as we await to see who will be crowned the chicken dinner winner of the Miramar game. 23 Tony eliminated, knocked, and eliminated by the Pain Africa, trying to cook up a good nade. That is the 23 Amar. Very, very perfect nade, and Amar does get bony. And these might be the nade that puts the Pain Africa down on their knees. And Amar has been cooking. He did get the 6th elimination, almost got his 7th. And nades are getting cooked, nades are getting thrown. And not a good knock from the Pain Africa. Mafioso did get the knock, but unfortunately not able to get another. A 1v3, and the 23 Legion are saying, not today, boy. Not today. 23 Legion, they survived the Pain Africa scare. Pain Africa did make it the top 8. They have 1 point. Azensu downed by the Unity of Nepal Amod. And both teams, 7 teams in total. Who has the play zone? Who has the fight? Zensu, this might be the end. Play zone might be shrinking towards their point. And the zone is coming. Zensu eliminated by the X77, and the elimination has just been stolen. The X77, they are confident in their play and are confident in how they move. But what a good spray, and he does get the knock. Good spray from the UN Armored. X77 battered by a 1-man. One of the best sprays that I'm seeing in the game. I bet this guy at the moment just did a 160 while trying to make that spray. Yanis eliminated. X77, quite a battery that they have just watched. One by one, teams are falling short. One by one, the shots are coming their way. And look at that knockout. Look at that man. That man has just been bewildered and abused. But the Unity of Nepal mode. BML Knight. With only 2 players remaining, and this has been their best game, having made it to the top 6. And might also try to take the chicken dinner. 23 Legion have to be careful. Mustafa almost got the knock. He has the 4 eliminations. Zeti Minatoro, they have 9 eliminations total. Quite a good game for the Zeti Esports. And the Dragons of the South will not be retaining their chicken dinner streak, having gotten eliminated very, very early in the moment. Got the number 6. And the Deadless Kenya still surviving. Still with the 0 eliminations, but got to the top 3. They need the nades. They need the mollies. They need to make those knocks come. They need to get those eliminations. Because placement points only will not do it. They need the placement. They need the eliminations. But the fights are not easy. All the teams are just pushing. All the teams are just moving. They are all trying to get a chicken dinner. And you have to go for the push. Those William have 2 V1 situation, and they do get that elimination. Quite a very, very good knock. Tries to carry the teammate towards the play zone. And the zone is very, very bad at the moment, and 4 teams remaining. 23 Legion, it's only 2 players. We have the Unity of Nepal looking for a second. ZT Esport with 3 players, and dead goes Kenya. Glixi eliminated by the play zone, and only 1 guy remain from the dead goes Kenya. Mustafa with a good nod, but unfortunately Amar is quite very, very fast, and he does get his nade in fast. As ZT Esports, Minatorio goes for the push. One of the guys are down, and Amar is also cooking up another very, very good nade. Amar with the P90 does go for the push. And Amar has to be very, very careful. And 1v1 Amar again. A 1v1 situation. The fragger for the 23 Legion. A 1v1 situation. This is the S12K versus the P90. And the P90 is getting very, 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 very potatoes. Very, very good potatoes for the 23 Amar. But Amar at a very, very bad spot. 23 Legion still not able to get a chicken dinner. That though still survives. That is William. Don't make a sound. This is the moment of reckoning. Dead those William. Don't make a sound. He has to play like these, wait for the teams to stop playing safe so that he can be able to get. Oh my goodness. GG's. I didn't think that they were seeing the guy, but GG's. That was quite some good calibration. A Unity of Nepal, they are looking for their second chicken dinner of the evening. And the ZT, they're looking for their first chicken dinner of the evening. Who will get that chicken dinner? Will we get a second chicken dinner, or will we get a new team getting a new chicken dinner? 7 eliminations for the Unity of Nepal. A do or die moment. Final moment of the game. The moment is here. 2 teams. Who has the most needs? And it's happening all over again. And this is it. 3v3 situation. 2 teams total. Who will get the chicken dinner? Who will get that final knock? We just need to see a chicken. We just need to see the points. 7 for the Unity Esports. 12 for the DTs, for the ZTs. Who will get that ultimate chicken dinner? If the ZTs are able to get the chicken dinner, the ties will change. And hunted down by speed, and that is a good knock. They have the numbers. Abi also down, and this is a 1v3 situation, and they do make that happen, and it's happening all over again. This is the love for a final day sensation, and it's bottling up at the top. It's bottling up the table, looking very, very mad. Oh my word, teenage kicks, and that is the ultimate teenage killer. The boy with the wild at his feet. They ain't stopping the ZTs now. They wanted the chicken, and they wanted it harder. They came and they got the chicken dinner for themselves. ZT with a very, very, very extravagant and striking win for that game of the evening. The ZT's winner, chicken sweet dinner. 7 eliminations for the ZTU Speed, who initiated the first knock for the final fight. Mufasa with the 6 eliminations, 2 for Minatorio, and finally we have Tukabos. That is Ukabos with that 0 elimination, but I think that is because he was eliminated quite early in the game. But the team that remained, those guys, they actually cooked. Looking at the head-to-head, ZTs, they have the 15 eliminations, 23 Legion with the 23 Legion, 15 to 13. So the ZT, they won in terms of eliminations. The T's, they lost in terms of total knocks, because the 23 Legion, they had 11 knocks. Total heals, 23 Legion taking that. But the total damage, 23 Legion, they did get that, because they did get a lot of knocks, although they were not able to get those finishes. And that's why when it comes to head-to-head, the 23 Legions, they were quite incredible. 23 eliminations for both the teams, and for the man himself, the MVP of the game, the 23 from the 23 Legion, having gotten the 7 eliminations, more than 1,000 damage, again 5 total knocks and 220 heals. But I'm going to concentrate so much on the total damages, because this guy has been very, very incredible. Looking at how he's been able to maintain the tempo for the game number 2, for the game number 3, with more than 1,000 total damage in both the games. So averaging 1,000 damage. In two games, close to 2,500 damage. That is quite insane. And these will prove to be a bargaining point for the 23 Legion when it comes to the final table. For the man of the hour, these are the top players. 23 Amar with the 7 eliminations and 2 assists. They tied with Speed, who got the same elimination, that is 7, and the 2 assists. We have Mustafa. Yeah, Mustafa with the 6 and 2 assists. We have Ahmad with the 5 eliminations and the 1 assist. I call him Mufasa. It's Mustafa. Oh my goodness. And then we have 23 Klaus with the 4 eliminations and the 3 assists. These have been our top players in the game number 3. And for that match ranking, ZT Esports getting all the spoils with 25 points, 10 for the chicken dinner and 15 for those eliminations. 25 points is quite nice. Looking at the final table, this will be quite incredible because it's gonna be changing. 25 points is it might put them in the top 5. 23 Legion taking number 2, Unity of Nepal number 3. Unfortunate not able to get the chicken dinner, but we have a lot of teams getting 0 horrors, brutal psychos, CB9, Dark Zone, tactical team, all of them with that big donut. 23 Amar, the top player of the day number 1. With only 3 games, this man has been able to bag 16 eliminations. 16 eliminations. So Amar quite good at what he does. The top fragger at the moment, 16 eliminations, 5 assists. Tony following closely with the 10 eliminations and the 7 assists. We have Zensu, 8 eliminations and the 4 assists. Mustafa, nice, taking the number 4 with the 9 eliminations. This previous game, Miramar proving like adding up those eliminations for Mustafa. Ahmad with the perfect spray, spraying down the X77 and getting 9 eliminations total for the day number 1. And things are changing. And for the overall rankings, things are looking very, very sweet at the top for the 23 Legion with 0 chicken dinner, but 42 total points for them. Yeah, 10 for the placement and 32 for the elimination. So those are quite some eliminations. ZT Esports with 35 total points. We have the Ruthless taking the that place. And this is what I was telling you. Like a chicken dinner, that is the big difference. ZT, they were able to move to the top 2. That is insane. I thought it would be the top 5, but it's the top 2. Dark Zone Esports still holding the number 18. Brutal number 17. Team Unique with the number 16. Tactical team not able to play tactically today. Just receiving some pain as they are close to the Pain Africa at number 14. Virus having gotten infected with the virus. They did get a 1v3 in the first game, but the other games are just quite horrific for the horrors of virus. And the table is looking nicely. Ritzi were very, very confident. Unity of Nepal with their chicken dinner with the 17 total points. We have the Dragons of the South with the 19 points. And for the game number 3 with 25 points. So this has been the game with the most points for a chicken dinner team. And only one game remaining. Who will get that cream de la cream? These will be Erangel. And I hope you guys are enjoying every single action coming from the Ramadan tournament. Day number 1, this is the grand finale. Like the live stream, don't forget, this is PUBG Mobile Somalia. See you in just a few seconds. First game, they came. Second game, they conquered. That game, they amused us. It's insane looking at how the teams are playing, looking at the kind of action that they are bringing to the table. Game number one was impressive. Game number two was just awesome. Game number three was incredible. And for the final game of the evening, which is Erangel, who will get the chicken dinner for the fourth map of the final game of the day. Number one, playing path still southern of the Erangel map, moving towards the western part in areas of Kware and Gatka. Most teams will be trying to get the Nova Paya direction, Milta, another key spot. We have the Ferry Paya direction. But the zone might, if the zone shrinks towards the Stralba area, that will be a very, very big difference for these teams. CB9 will be in a very, very, very good and heated fight at the moment, and CB9 losing one player very, very early in the game, and the zone shifting towards the Sosnovka military base, and all the teams will be required to move towards the southern part of military, which was the hottest part when it came to the OGs. If you remember, if you played the game in the 2018, 2019, almost 2020 era, it was hell. And already a fight is breaking loose. CB9s, what a very, very good knock. And they are ready. They were eliminated very, very early in the previous game. But right now they are ready for the action, trying to cook up a good nade. Already another nade has been cooked very, very low, but maintaining. And he does throw the nade, unfortunately not able to connect, going for the push. CB9 Esports, they're having that advantage, going for the push. But CB9, Gariari are very, very low, goes for the push, and he can't get that elimination, and they do manage to get those choke points. But unfortunately, they still have game. The final player remaining from the CB9. Will these be a GG's for him? The final player, and that is just a CB9. Final game of the evening, exiting BML night with that Dawn of Darkness. And that's it for the CB9. Final game has not favored them at all. BML night with a 1v3, incredible. In Pochinki, things are breaking loose because Pain Africa are very, very strongly. Pain Era goes for the push with 3 players left. One of them is down, and another is down. Era making that critical error and down on his knees. Venom has to go like a stinging snake, stinging nettle, trying to get that revive. Pain Mafioso, X77, 3 of their players are down. They're trying to get those revives. They don't have the advantage. They're just very, very disadvantaged. But the Pain Africa cannot push. Era has been eliminated. Venom, the only player that has a bit of health. Venom down. Unique Kaish with the third party does get the knock. And he needs to get the other players. Unique Esports, they need those points more than they... they need those points more because they are falling short of the Pain Africa. They are currently at number 15. Unique Esports, they are currently number 18. Oh my goodness. Things are changing. Things are weird. Pain Africa, Bony. 0 eliminations. Pain Africa losing players very, very early in the game. They have to be careful. X77 getting the Unique Madman. Unique Carlos eliminated. Pain Africa, Unique Esports having got eliminated. Oh, X77, GG's. Don't look at a wounded lion and think that it is a cat. X77, they were wounded by Unique Esports. They have found out the hard way. F around and find out. X77 have to be careful. Pain Africa moving up and about over the buildings, trying to create that point for them to be able to get those easy pickups. Trying to get the X77, and the X77, they know that they are being spotted. Mafioso ready for the fight. Mafioso Ready on the roof. Mafioso, not ready for the flight, just ready for the fight. This is Mafioso 77K. Tries to make the push, but just creating a star in the mud. And I think the X77, they might be mad about it. They're not afraid of the pain Mafioso. They just want to cause him pain and ultimately take him back to the lobby. Mafioso, he came to a very enravaged X77 team, but Mafioso just met the best of the best. 5 eliminations already for the X77, and they are dominating Pochinki. X77, they are dominating so much. DZ eliminated, and the players taking that early lead. 14 teams remaining, 48 total players. BPX, they have the 4 eliminations, and only 3 of the players are remaining. Pain Africa, Boney gets the X77. Boney, the only player remaining. A 1v3 situation, but unfortunately, he was not Smoke. Smoke did the 1v3. But unfortunately for Boney, the 1v3 is not a dream come true for him. Just a living nightmare. Sponsored by the X77. Fallen Ruthless, just falling short of the number 1. They're currently at the number 3. If they're able to make it to the top 3, honestly, they will be in the top 2. Because the Dragons of the South, the Ritzy, they pose a lot of danger to the table for the Fallen Ruthless. But if the Fallen Ruthless are able to get their gear up, get those eliminations, yeah, they should not push at the moment. They should just hold their position, wait for the eliminations to come to them, because they have the zone. If you have the zone, what is the need of pushing? Let the teams come to you. At times, you just have to play it safe. You know, at times, see classic players saying that these guys are camping. No, that is not camping, and this is normally never camping. It's just playing tactically. Just play tactically. Hold your position when need be, and then strike when need is needed. Aim got down, and the RTX Crazy Ice Cut just get that elimination for the Crazy. Yeah, Smoke. You're just trying to play it safe. Crazy Brainbow has to be careful. He is fighting against the RTZ. Rizzi has been very, very confident today, getting quite some good points. But Rizzi Saif, right now, this is not just a game. Rizzi smokes while in the crate and creating a lot of tensions for the RTZ Tracer, who is the final player remaining, and the circle shifting in just a few seconds. Who will have the zone? Are we going to have bridge campers? Are we going to have teams going for the waters, and the zone is shifting? No bridge campers around. Unity of Nepal still holding the position, but they might be meeting the WRS, which is just shy of the bridge area, and the Unity of Nepal. If they are eliminated right now, they forget about the top 2. You have to be careful. A fight might be breaking loose as they try to get to the play zone. Levi leading his team towards the Unity of Nepal, and the circle shifting towards the military base area. Unity of Nepal being held of Vision Codex. They are still surviving in the play zone, and that is what is needed for the teams. Final fight, that is the hottest one. 42 players still remaining in the grand finals on the final game of the day number 1. Day number 2 tomorrow, for us to see who will be crowned champion of the Ramadan Cup. And Ramadan Mubarak to all our Somali brothers, all our Muslim brothers from all over the world watching the stream. Art is there with the final player, Tracer, trying to trace his steps, trying to move around, looking for teammates. Unfortunately, his teammates can only give him direction. X77 getting the Unity of Nepal. And the Unity of Nepal have to be careful, because the X77, these guys are no joke. These guys are pushing. They are very, very pushy. Unity of Nepal, a hunt. was the first player to be eliminated in the previous game for the 1v3 showdown that happened between them and the ZTs. At the moment, the number 2 position is very, very wide open because the ZTs have already been eliminated. 23 Legion, with only 2 of their players surviving. They have 42 points. They just need the 2 players to be able to provide quite a magnitude of points in this game. I'm talking about points averaging 7. And only 13 teams remaining. 23 Legion. We have Ruthless, Unity of Nepal, TDS, the Dragon of the South, X77, Ritzy. We have the Vision Codex, BML, Deathos. And this place reminds me of a certain War Room. I know most of you guys have played the War Room. And this is where the War Room comes to place. How you can be able to push without getting spotted. That is the beauty of WoWs at times. It gets to teach you how to play in certain situations and at certain given times. A BPX with the numbers. But I don't know what they're trying to do. No plays there. Fighting against the BMLs. Brutal Cycles with only 3 players remaining. And this is the BPX Ali, as we call him. A very, very young man, but a very, very ruthless man. A young boy with quite some very, very good shots of BPX-B. And no moving, Amaso just holding his position, waiting for the BMLs to cause an error. And if they cause an error, he will make them pay. Brutal Cycles have to be careful. Might be brutalized with a very, very good knock. BML Knight does get the knock, and the Knight also gets knocked by Viper. Also, Viper down, and it's down to a knock by knock by knock. Peligro, one of the few players remaining from the BMLs. And for the BPX, only 1 player is remaining. So a 1v1. And if he does not go for the push right now, and this might be the nade that proves to be the detrimental point. If the nade is successful, that is a knock come true for the BPX team. Viper has been viping around. BPX, only 2 players remaining. One of the players trying to get his health up to a 2v2 situation. BPX trying to add the numbers. Crazy esports with the 3 points only. Young B. And honestly speaking, it's looking bad for Pain Africa. It's looking bad for Team Unique. And teams caliber of the Team Unique having participated and played in the PMAC final, this is not looking good for them. In the day number 2, they have to come well composed with the same vision as they had in the PMAC. They can't do it, and they might do it. BPX eliminated, but the BMLs and the BPX out and out as the team number 12. Horus Virus, yeah, also in the top 4. Are they in the top 4? They're in the top 5, sorry. They have a total of 9 points. They're not able, I don't know, the games, I think they're becoming a bit tricky for them. The way they played the first game, I think they ought to play the game like that. A Whiskey with a 1v3, but unfortunately not able to get some other eliminations. A Levi from the Horus Virus, and the virus is spreading. The eliminations are not counting. Deathos Kenya with a full squad. And might be moving, trying to get the play zone very, very fast. And the blue zone might be hurting them. They have to cross the bridge. The bridge is not infested at the moment because most of the teams, most of the players are already in the safe. 23 Amar, the MVP of the day number 1, are looking to add the eliminations. They are playing as a duo. The 2 of the players not having joined. That is the Unity of Nepal getting brutalized by the Dragons of the South. And they take the northern part of the ridge. And the Dragons of the South, they are dominating Unity of Nepal. They are playing against time, playing against the tides, swimming and trying to survive. And it does see the unity of Nepal, and the unity of Nepal have been eliminated by the dragons of the south. And it's all going south for the unity of Nepal, as things are not looking as they have been looking in the game number 2. TT Mikeyo from the tactical team, they already have the 4 eliminations and 10 teams remaining. The mentality is still the same for the tactical team. Just try to get the play zone before the save zone starts shrinking. 23 Legion Tony just waiting, and these might be some good knocks. Tony just waiting like a snake, like a viper, waiting for his prey. A spray and pray action. Thomas swimming in the waters. If the 23 Tony is able to spot the 23 Thomas, that is a good knock. And he does see them, and he waits for them to swim in closely for him to be able to get that elimination. And is moving in closely to them. They know that these guys are in the waters. We have fish, Nile perch, tilapia, mullet, and Thomas. They don't want Nile perch. They don't want tilapia. They want Thomas, and Thomas has been eliminated. And 23 Tony has to be careful because we also have another swimmer. And Tony aware of that, but looking in the wrong direction. And another swimmer is there. We got the tilapia. We got the Nile perch. We got Thomas. And Tony using an ingenious move to be able to spot where Kevin is. He went in the water and he does get that knock. And Tony setting up the tone. Vision Codex fighting against the Death Those Kenya. Glixi down. Vision Codex with the 1 elimination trying to heal up. And they are all going for the play zone. But these are playing in the blue zone. Vision Codex and the Death Those Kenya, they have to be careful because playing in the blue zone, these will prove to be quite a disadvantage. Might cost them the chicken dinner because once the zone shrinks, they are all gone. They might be taking a lot of damage and they might not make it to the play zone. Vision Codex go for the push. They want to secure their elimination. Death Those Kenya with only Glitch remaining. And a one-man army. They know his location. He just made the shots. And they are going for the push. Death Those Kenya. Glitch, no glitchy. And the time of reckoning is now. Vision Codex. They have to get the play zone. Or they have to get the Dose Glitch. One of them, but not all of them. Codex try to get the play zone. They have all the loot that they can get because the Dead Those, they have the loots. They try to survive. Glitch tries to go to the safe zone, but unfortunately Glitch eliminated by Teach. And teaching a very viable lesson to the Dead Those Kenya of why not to play in the blue zone. VC Teach, Codex. Yeah, all of them moving in closely. DMLs surviving, looking for a chicken dinner with only 2 players remaining. Knight with the 5 eliminations. Crazy Esports taking those hovercraft and trying to give them as cover. But the hovercraft, one of the weakest weapons apart from the monster truck. Zone shrinking in 20 seconds. And the fires are intensifying. TDS Zensu eliminated. Knight with the 5. Knight in the shining armor. Tries to get the ice cut. The 5 eliminations. TDS also getting butchered and clattered. And this final game might be the reckoning point for all these teams. Knight does go for the push. And Shakir from the Ruthless. And look at how Ruthless are playing the game. They are just playing by just securing the play zone and try to get those points in the final points of the game. Shakid versus the tactical team, and they are in their first fight in this game. No, second fight. They got the 2 eliminations earlier on. And the tactical team trying to use the tactics, but these nades might prove to be very, very cumbersome for them. Tactical team, Stone 77. Fighting against Shakin, and that is a good knock. Kuz does get the TT Stone, and they're going for the push. Stone eliminated. And they are getting Stone down. Ruthless in every manner, in all aspects. looking to clinch a chicken dinner for the day number 1. Not able to get a single chicken dinner, but the eliminations are coming. If the Ruthless team is able to get the chicken dinner today, they might end up first in the day number 1 table. 23 Tony still holding his position. The only final player remaining from the 23 Legion. 19 players remaining, 8 teams total, and the time is taken. The clock tick tock, tick tock. Legion with the 2 elimination and does get the crazy Young B and the crazy Ice Cut. He does get the 2 eliminations and he just needs to make those knocks in. A crazy Young B, very low. Young B goes for the push fight against the VC 1v1. This is a Bison. TP Bison versus Shotgun, and he does get the knock, and the Bison just wins it for the Young B. Crazy Esports getting the 3 eliminations. The VCs are out and are down. Vision Codex. Now that is something for them to code out. Horus Virus, Levi going for the third party. A lot of nades getting thrown towards the Crazy Esports position. A barrage of nades. 23 Tony with the 2 eliminations. Didn't secure even a single elimination that he got from the Crazy Esports. And Tony moving in closely. Tony also looking for the top MVP player for the day number 1. Overall player BML Knight gets the whiskey. And whiskey getting something to drink on. 23 Legion Tony gets a very good spot to be able to spot out these enemies. Not in the safe zone, but sees the TDS, and he might be taking that elimination down to himself. And Horus Virus Whiskey back on his feet. But the nades are proving to be very hard for him to be able to stay there in one position. Not able to lock in on him. Whiskey trying to move around, but he needs to be careful. Crazy Esports are there. Horus Virus Whiskey, only 2 players remaining from the squad. Whiskey and Levi. Reminds me of the Attack on Titan Levi, one of the characters in PUBG Mobile. Ice Cut with the 1 elimination, the only player remaining from the Crazy Esports. And the team that has the number, that is the Ruthless team with 3 players to their tally. 23 Legion with 1 player, BML with 2 players, TDS with 1, VRS with the 2 players, and finally the Crazy Esports with 1 player. So all the numbers favoring the Ruthless Esports. Will they be able to get that chicken dinner? Horus Virus, Levi, a very good molly. Guys go for the push, and the Ice Cut iced out by the Horus Virus. And I told you, this is it. This is the Virus team that we need to see. Horus Virus, horrific. Horus Virus, horrendous in what they do. And one by one, bodies are being left to waste. A Ruthless team looking for their first. Shakid going for the bush, going for the best spot in the play zone, and Levi is down on his feet, and only 1 guy is remaining. 23 Tony also in that vicinity. TDS Yanis, one of the few players remaining from the TDS team. And the 23 Tony has to be careful as the VRS are fighting. He might get caught in the crossfire, but he's playing it closely, safely. As they are making the push, BMLs are trying to get at that party, trying to throw those nades. And the ball is in the court. BMLs getting cluttered. Forisha Kid gets the BML Peligro. Goes. No risk in losing the numbers. Does get that elimination for the Ruthless. They have 5 eliminations total. Tries to get the play zone. And the blue might be hurting them. They have to play safe. They have to get the spot. 23 Tony still surviving for the 23 Legion. And the Legion getting satisfied of all he's doing. TDS. And Zaba has to be careful as he's moving. He's going straight into solos. Yanis versus Zaba, a 1v1, and he's going for the push. Shakid equals 23 Tony, equals down. 23 Tony, a 1-man army, does get the elimination, and he is proving to be quite a figure to be reckoned with. A 1-man army, but a force to be reckoned with. Shakid, the only player remaining, and they just lost the numbers. Fallen ruthlessly. Oh my word. They had the numbers. They had the position. But unfortunately, they just made a wrong call. But how would they know? How would they know that they have solos? You just have to expect players to be at a very peculiar angles. Like angles that you're not expecting, you will find the players. And Shakib, the final player remaining. TDS Yanis cannot exit that area without getting into the vehicle. 23 Tony. He has a very, very good spot. And tries to smoke, tries to nade that area. He might get a surprise knock, but unfortunately not able to make the knock count. Another good nade. Tony, will he be able to get a chicken dinner all by himself? And Yanis trapped by Shakida. Yanis cannot move anywhere. The vehicle is just right in front of him. What Shakid needs to do is just throw a molly and he will be able to get the TDS. Yanis trapped. Tony almost eliminated. Shakid does get the TDS. Yanis and the one-man army is a 1v1 situation. Tony versus the FR Shakida. Can Tony be able to pull one of the greatest chicken dinners around? And Tony does get the chicken dinner! Oh my, what a one-man army! And Tony is the man that does make that happen! One of the greats. No wonder this player is a star. Brilliant, just brilliant. A mark of a man. An instinctive reaction. One to take, one to hit. Bang, bang. Technically superb and visionary. To have the ability and the audacity just to try it. Few in the world could do that. Fewer would even dare to do it. That is a 23. Getting that chicken dinner in the final game of the day number 1 of the Ramadan tournament. 23 superb with a very horrific, splendid chicken dinner. That was insane. That was incredible. Amar. Bro, that was Tony or Amar? Oh my goodness. That was Tony. Guys, did I just give Amar the credit? Oh my goodness me. That was the 23 Tony. Oh my, what? I give Tony the credits back. 23 Tony, the man of the hour, the man that just made the chicken dinner happen. And a GG is a one-man army. But I just got confused because of all that is happening. A lot of feelings happening and boiling down at once. Oh my word. And the head-to-head 23 Legion versus the fallen ruthless. That was incredible. But the game was so fast. The game was so fast that looking at how these teams are playing, that was that was superb. 5 eliminations for the 23 Legion, 7 for the ruthless. Ruthless taking that. Total damage. Ruthless taking it. Total knocks going to the 23 Legion and 4 knocks only for the fallen Ruthless. Ruthless taking quite some eliminations, but Tony is a goat. Tony is a beast. That's how you do it. That's how you that's how you make it happen. That was great. That was awesome. That was splendid. BML's Be My Loot, the match MVP. That was the BML night with the most elimination. That is 6 eliminations for the match MVP. 941 damage. Oh, yes. No way, man. Bro, I'm just trying to think about what happened. The MVPs, the BMLs, they played good in this game. Honestly, they played good in this game. Where? BML Knight, the top player of the final game. With 6 eliminations. Tony, the man of the hour with the 5 eliminations. Shakida almost got the ruthless team home with the 5 eliminations. Levi, the 4 eliminations. And finally, Peligro. That was awesome. Trying to think about the duo, Tony and Amar. But Tony, most of the game, he played as a solo. And that duo, incredible, joined as a duo. And they did take that win. 23 Legion. 10 for the chicken dinner and 5 for the place, 5 for the eliminations. That is 15 total. But the fallen ruthless, they still maintain their top 4 form. With the 13 points, Be My Loot with the 11. We have the Dragons of the South with the 8 eliminations, with the 8 points. X77 taking number 6. And the ZT, they got the chicken dinner in the previous game. But right now, they just got 0 points, which is quite a cliche. 0 points. They got 25 in the first game, 25 in the previous game, but right now they have 0. And for the overall MVP of the evening, that is 23 Yama with the 16 eliminations, total damage 2,699 and 30 knocks. These has been the man. They've been on business. business as usual. They came for the win, and they did make that happen. 23 Amar, the top player of the evening. But let's talk about the zest of the 23 Tony, a one-man army. But he was able to get the chicken dinner for the team. 23 Legion, unstoppable. 23 Legion, the staff of Stellar Champions, BML Knight, taking the number 3 in the top players. Shakida, final player remaining from the Ruthless team, having held his ground and gave the Ruthless team a very, very good second place. Although he almost got the chicken dinner. He almost got the chicken dinner. And the Ruthless, they have two players in the top 5, which is quite incredible with 20 points. Two players, 20 points, and 20 religion with two players, two of the players with 31 points. So quite some good game. An insane match. Somali Ramadan tournament. Overall rankings at the moment. And 23 legions, they still maintain their lead. 57 total points. With one chicken dinner, they actually deserve that because they've not gotten a single chicken dinner. First game, they were battered. Second game, they came back. Third game, remontada. Fourth game, they got the chicken dinner. Well deserved for the 23 Legion. Fallen Ruthless with the number 2. They got the 47 points. Bro, Fallen Ruthless, these guys have been, not with no chicken dinner, they've been insane. They've been on their top form, but not on their overall top form, because I know tomorrow they might get a chicken dinner, but today 47 points set them at second place. Dragons of the South, they had the chicken dinner. Bro, they are the only team in the top 5 with no chicken dinner. They're Fallen Ruthless, but they still made it. And for the final, for the team that are in the bottom 3, Dark Zone Esports, Team Unique, Brutal Cycles, Pain Africa, Feeling the Pain, Tactical Team, wondering what tactic went wrong. Yeah, the Cycles just got some Cycles here. Team Unique, not unique in that position, and the Dark Zone Esports just seen dark things happen in the lobby. Things are harder, but the 23 Legion are harder. First game went to the Unity of Nepal. They got the 17 total points in the Erangel game. We went to Rondo, where the Dragons of the South were able to get that chicken. We had the ZTs having gotten this third game, third win. And the final game of the evening went to the 23 Legion. That was a very, very good win for the 23 Legion. And this has been an awesome display of talent, an awesome display of skill, and an awesome display of some PUBG Mobile top players. 23 Tony, incredible in what he did. I loved how he did it, man. Imagine playing a 1v3, v4, but this guy held his cool, maintained his position, and was able to get the 23 Legion that well-deserved win. Ruthless, they have been on top. Shakida being their top player today. On top form, tomorrow expected to see something similar and something different coming from all the teams. Tag those, dead those, Kenya, not having quite some good games. We had a lot of teams that tried their best, but unfortunately, at times it's hard. Teams coming to the day number 1 with some winning mentality, only to find all the teams had the winning mentality and only one team has to win. But GG's for all the teams that participated in the day number 1 for the Ramadan tournament. This has been what we came to watch. And to everyone that is watching, don't forget, give the stream a like, subscribe, follow PUBG Mobile Somalia. And my name is the PTK Young Blood from PTK Africa. But don't be fooled by the name. I am not the young, but I am the man himself, the man Young Blood. Day 1 is a wrap. Tomorrow we have the day number 2, who will be crowned champion of the PUBG Somalia Ramadan Cup. See you tomorrow. It's a